Hi, all of my young living friends. It's Dr. Chris here. It is Tuesday night and it's almost 7:30. So I'm about half an hour late for this program and I really apologize if anybody had been waiting for me, but I was having big technical difficulties again. I found a temporary solution, but I have to really figure out what is going on with YouTube and saying I don't have a camera. So anyway, here I am. We're talking about Taurus, the season of Taurus, which is roughly April 20th to May 20th. This is depending on if there's a leap year or something like that. So, this being April 20th, this is the very first day of the season of Taurus. And this is a one of my favorites because I've got a few Taurians in my life. First of all, my mother, who is April 29th, and my youngest son, who is April 27th. So, lots of Taurus energy in my life, which is a good thing. It is a season of slowing down and making plans because for 4 weeks or so we've had the season of Aries, which has been helping encourage our creativity and guiding us to break free from the status quo, which is huge at this time because this is a time that there seems to be more of a herd mentality and not so much critical thinking going on in the world. It's really amazing to me because I guess, using my oils, I think I can see pretty clearly about what's going on, and my brain is working where I can decide with my brain all the information, what makes sense to me, instead of just going along with the crowd. So now we're going to start to slow down, make some plans, and we're going to start to really cultivate our ideas and our dreams. So I've always got a lot of things I want to do, and it's really great to have a dream, but you want to see it through. So I think this season of Taurus really helps. Taurus's sign is that of a bull, so that you can charge forward with all that pent up momentum that you've been creating to start to get things done. So you want to do it slow and steady though, and have some patience, going at a pace that is right so that you don't just charge ahead without thinking, and have a detailed plan and a strategy, and maybe make some new routines if you haven't gotten quite into a regular movement plan. You might want to start to do that. Your food and what you're eating, all of these things make a difference because whatever you want to do in your life, those healthy lifestyle habits are going to help you manifest your dreams. And also, you want to take time for slowing down. If you need to, take a little break in the middle of the day. I often do a 10 to 20 minutes meditation. Oftentimes, I'm using my brain tap device, which helps with, it helps with a lot of things, but it's a really quick way for me to get into a meditative state. And I can then go on with the rest of my day feeling rested and relaxed. And I can do some oils while I'm doing that. And then when I get up, I usually put some oils on to re-energize. So you want to really do self-care. You want to evaluate what's important in your life, what's bringing your joy and fulfillment. And Taurus is really highly governed by the heart chakra. And the emotion associated with that is love and appreciation, not only for others, but for yourself. So make sure you take care with that. So having said what this season is about, let's just delve a little bit into the personality. And it's so funny as I read these because I can see both my mom, but especially my son in this personality traits. So it's the most reliable sign of the zodiac. Taurus will persistently endure and stick to their choices until they reach a point of personal satisfaction. They are sensible, grounded, practical, realistic, and sometimes to a fault. They find it easy to remain focused on tasks and projects until they're completed. They have a strong sense of commitment, which can sometimes appear to make them to be stubborn, sometimes uncompromising. But these characteristics really make them also excellent employees, friends, partners. They are patient. They do not like change and criticism or any sort of confrontation, or if there's any unpleasant situations going on around them, they just sort of stand back. They don't get in the middle of it. But they can bring a voice of reason to arguments. So they've got a strong love of nature, and they tend to be, like I said, they like routine. They don't like change too much. They're characteristically dependable, predictable, and resistant to change. And so just a little story about my son, who will be 20 next week. When he was little in grammar school, especially, actually even smaller than that, I should say. This was a trait really early on. Maybe he'd be like 2 to 4 or something like that. Anyway, he's pretty easygoing. He is really a love bug. He really is. He'll just come up and give me a hug, and he's there for his friends, and he just, he's just really a great guy. But so I liken him to Ferdinand the Bull, right? Who would sit under a tree all contented. But if you got in his face and you challenged him, I swear, I could see smoke come out of his nostrils. His nostrils would flare, and especially when he was little, he would just charge like a bull. It was so funny. I was like, oh my God, you're such a Taurian. I don't know how you say it. So it's hilarious. He's very chill. He doesn't charge so much often now, but yeah, if you kind of get in his face, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it because he's pretty easygoing otherwise. All right, so let's talk a little bit about essential oils. We want essential oils that are going to encourage relaxation and self-care. So floral and citrus scents are great favorites of the season. So you might want to use things like rose. And if you haven't tried rose yet, you need to get rose. So, so good. A little goes a long way with rose. And by the way, too, it's liquid now because it's warm here in Los Angeles. But in the winter, it does get chilly here. And you know how coconut oil will kind of get solid at room temperature when it's colder? So does rose oil. So if it's not in a liquid state, just stick it inside your bra or your pants waistband and it'll warm up. Little hint there. Another really nice one to add would be geranium. Neroli, this is one of my favorites, and this is orange blossom. So, oh my God. It's like standing in the middle of an orange blossom orchard, and I love putting a drop of this on my head for focusing. I think I got that in there. Oh, God, I love it. Woo! All right, I'm in neroli heaven. And then there's Ylang Ylang, the great balancer. It's always great to add. It is really one of the favorites to add. Now this one, it's very interesting. This is my son's favorite. When we were at convention and they've got the big room and you can try all the oils. Well, there was somebody doling out the jasmine a little bit at a time. And he was like, you gotta come and smell this. So jasmine is definitely one of his favorites. You can also use bergamot. I didn't grab it because I think I've been using bergamot a lot. So I didn't grab it this time. Oh, wow. I've actually got another rose oil. Interesting. I've got a backup. But maybe some tangerine, lemon. I grabbed tangerine this time just because I haven't really used tangerine that much in my blends. Lavender, of course. You can never get enough lavender. If you've got blends like Joy, that's another great one to use. That's interesting. Oh, I know why I grabbed that. Okay, I've got all my expensive ones together in a separate place so that people don't grab them and go crazy with them. And then if you want to, you can also use something like Believe, which is, to me, I love this one. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of Believe in there just so that we can believe that we can manifest our dreams. Now, you know I like to use crystals too. You don't have to. I've got some pink quartz, or rose quartz I should say. I've got some jade in there and some green tourmaline. So the red and the pink are sort of the colors for the heart chakra. So it will help develop that energy as we create our blend. So I'm going to start with 3 drops of Ylang Ylang. So I'm just going to drop that in there. And you know, sometimes I have time to play with these blends ahead of time, but I think it's really kind of fun to create them in front of you so that you can kind of see the process I go through. There's nothing like scientific about it except like what you think is going to smell good. So far so good. So far so yummy. All right, that's the tangerine one. I'm going to leave that to the side because the citrus ones have a lighter note to them and they often dissipate quicker. I'm going to put a couple of drops of lavender in here. So that was 2 drops, you know, 2 give or take, whatever kind of comes in. And I'm going to add 1 drop of geranium. Super yummy and super great for your skin, by the way. Now I'm going to add a drop of jasmine. So jasmine is another one that's super concentrated. You do not need a lot. A little goes, oh, that was sort of, it was like 1.5. So this is pretty, I'm going to just shake it up so I can get a gander. That is pretty, it's a pretty light scent. It's actually kind of really nice for spring. I'm going to put a drop of neroli in here too, just because I love it so much. If some of these don't resonate with you, or if you don't have them, so if you don't have neroli, you might want to use orange or bergamot. Jasmine and neroli, I do believe you can use your Essential Rewards points to buy, by the way. So get those points added up with the stuff that you normally would buy. That's smelling so good. And you know what? I'm just going to put a drop of rose too. Why not? Why the heck not? And I like just adding a little at a time because then you can change it if it's not suiting your smell. And then I'm going to add a little bit more tangerine because I want to balance out. Okay, so I just put 5 more drops of tangerine. I really want to balance out all those florals and just sort of tone it down a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, that definitely helped to tone it down. And now I'm going to add a couple of drops of Believe. So let's just see. I believe it's going to work. All right, that was like 2.5. I'm going to shake that up. Oh, that's really nice. I really like that. So that was 3 drops of Ylang Ylang, It ended up, I think, to be 7 drops of tangerine, 2 drops of lavender, 1 of geranium, 1 of neroli, 1 rose, 1 jasmine, and like 2 to 3 of believe. I'm going to fill this up with some fractionated coconut oil because it's clear, because I want to be able to see my stones in here. And then I'm going to top it with my roller, and I'm going to roll it on my heart because this is the season of Taurus and it is really resonating with the heart chakra. So I hope you liked my little season of Taurus presentation. Give me a thumbs up if you did. And go ahead and hit the notification and subscribe buttons. And I will see you next Tuesday. Hopefully I won't have as many technical difficulties. And we will continue with the essential oils in the starter kit. All right, have a great week and see you next time.